Right now at noon, a mass casualty incident that happened overnight in New Orleans is now being called a possible terrorist attack. We'll have the latest.
And we have a winter weather approaching as we head into the weekend. I'll have all the details coming up.
Plus, Pittsburgh first responders pull a woman from a burning building Monday afternoon.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, this is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. Now, early this morning, New Year's celebrations in New Orleans turned to tragedy overnight after a driver, police say, was hell-bent on carnage, rammed into a crowd at a high rate of speed, killing at least 10 people and injuring dozens more. Katie Weiss is in New Orleans with the latest.
Just hours into the new year, celebration turned to chaos in New Orleans after a truck plowed through a crowd on the city's iconic Bourbon Street.
He was hell-bent on creating the carnage and the damage that he did. It was very intentional behavior. This man was trying to run over as many people as he possibly could.
The incident unfolded shortly after 3 a.m. local time.
We heard loud banging sounds.
This witness did not want to be on camera.
We looked out the window, we noticed there was a lot of bodies laying on the ground.
Witnesses told me, because I was there just moments after this happened, and people were scared. They were terrified. The FBI says the suspect died after a firefight with police. The agency has taken the lead on the investigation and is looking into the incident as an act of terrorism.
The city of New Orleans was impacted by a terrorist attack.
The mayor warned people to stay away from the Bourbon Street area as the FBI investigated what appeared to be at least one improvised explosive device. The incident happened hours before the kickoff of a college football quarterfinal in the city's Superdome. Police said they're making sure the area is safe for the game. Katie Weiss, CBS News, New Orleans.
Well, the New Orleans police chief said the suspect fired at officers from his vehicle, shooting 2 of them. Both were taken to the hospital in stable condition. Authorities respond to an SUV and motorcycle crash outside of Carl Junction. The crash took place around 2 p.m. Monday at the 4-way stop at the intersection of Lone Elm and Fountain Road. Authorities say the Chevy Tahoe driven by a 16-year-old failed to yield to the motorcycle. The 33-year-old Joplin woman driving the motorcycle suffered serious injuries. EMS transported her to a local hospital, and she has since been transferred to Springfield for a higher level of care. First responders save a woman from a house fire in Pittsburgh. The report came in around 4 in the afternoon on Monday when a caller said she was still in the residence. Pittsburgh police arrived first on the scene and forced entry into the house in an attempt to find the woman. The Pittsburgh Fire Department arrived shortly after and managed to remove the woman to safety. The woman received minor injuries but was treated at the scene before being released. Responders contained the fire to the room of origin and extinguished it without any structural damage or fire spread. Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us now for a first look at weather.
Well, temperatures are starting to warm up slowly but surely. We're in the upper 30s now, 39 in Joplin, 40 in Chanute. A little bit warmer out there, 37 in Yates Center, so a little bit cooler. But winds are going to start to shift out of the south as we head into the rest of today. But we've got clear skies for the rest of the afternoon. Though more clouds do start to move in later on tonight. But until then, temperatures are going to warm up a couple more degrees up to the lower 40s, and it's going to be sunny again for most of the day. But as we head into the weekend, we've got our first potential winter weather event that's going to be moving in late Saturday afternoon, starting with some rain, switching over to a bit of ice, and then ending with snow chances, especially in the northeast. So we're going to focus on that for the next couple of days. Still, it is a ways away, and there is some uncertainties on what we can expect, especially when it comes to the snow amounts and the ice amounts. But we are seeing still conditions persisting as we get a little closer, so I'll have all the details coming up.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. Well, we each hope for blessings and success in 2025 and strive to endure challenges. KOAM's Lonnie Walden spoke with some folks at the North Park Mall in Joplin who hope to do just that.
My New Year's resolution is to beat cancer.
Joe Erie is a 40-year-old father from Kansas. Right now, he's battling testicular cancer, the one he says should be the easiest cancer to fight. but unfortunately not for him.
Keep getting better, but it keeps coming back. But I fall on a 2%.
We also met Jonathan Fleshman, who says he's also battling his own demons.
A recovering addict that's been struggling for a very long time.
And he admits he's made a few mistakes.
Wrong people, wrong places.
But his mother is doing what most look forward to doing in the new year.
My New Year's resolution, I've lost 140 pounds so far. Walk to get healthier.
Yep, and as you may know, that's number 1 on the resolution list.
Exercise, eat healthy.
My New Year's resolution this year is to lose some weight.
Just eat better in general.
And I guess you can imagine what's on the younger minds these days. School.
Hoping to get good grades this year. New Year's resolution is to not fail all my classes like I did this year. To graduate on time.
Basically like graduate.
Is to graduate on time.
And with that said, both Erie and Fleshman says they have a few words for those battling demons.
My faith in Christ.
And if you don't have a family, at least find God, because that's where it's at.
And that was the biggest advice from these Joplin residents, to never lose hope and never give up. Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
According to a Forbes poll, New Year's resolutions last only about 3 months on average. And just like national polls, most folks Lonnie spoke with said they have struggled to keep their previous resolutions. Well, some places in the 4 states kicked off their New Year's celebration a little early yesterday. St. Bridget Catholic Church in Scammon, Kansas got in on the holiday fun with a Ringin' the New Year bash. The church invited kids and adults of all ages to the event to take part in some fun and games such as flip cup, tic-tac-toe, and yummy milk and cookie martinis.
Idea for our church family to do together, and also it kind of benefits both ends of the spectrum, the little kids that don't need to stay up until midnight, and also the older people of our parish who don't want to stay up until midnight or don't need to be driving after dark. So it's a good way to bring us all together.
The event started at 10:30 and didn't end until they rang in the new year. Well, diners at one Kansas City restaurant dig into the holidays with a Hanukkah-inspired menu. The Tannin Wine Bar and Kitchen in Kansas City's Crossroad District features Jewish staples such as matzo ball soup, potato latkes, also known as potato pancakes, and vodka bread pudding. Now, for one patron at Tannin's, the menu items serve as a great way to understand another culture.
Every culture, whether it's a nation or religion, has their own food, and I think understanding their food helps you to understand their culture.
Now, Tannin chef Brian Aaron says his goal is to put a modern twist on some traditional Jewish dishes some centuries old. Well, coming up, we'll take a look at how cities across the world ring in the new year. And later, we're making Rancher's chicken dip in the Mr. Food test kitchen. Communities around the world welcomed in 2025 with dazzling light shows and warm embraces. Auckland, New Zealand's capital, was the first major city to celebrate. Recent tragedies and enduring conflicts cast a shadow on festivities in a number of countries, while in some, people had new reasons to celebrate. Gamal Azali has the latest.
The countdown to 2025 kicked off in New Zealand, a full 18 hours before New York. But there weren't spectacular light shows in all the earliest cities to ring in the new year. Celebrations were muted in South Korea, still in a period of national mourning following Sunday's deadly plane crash that killed 179 people. As pyrotechnics lit up Dubai's Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest tower, some in the Middle East finally had reason to rejoice. Syrians, marking their first year free from the brutal 50-year reign of the Assad family. While in Russia and Ukraine, where war still rages, leaders had their own messages. President Vladimir Putin said he was proud of his country's armed forces. While Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said Russian troops were dying for Putin's sick ideas, and that with America, Ukraine had the power to compel Russia into a just peace. Hours after flashes of fireworks illuminated the walls of Rome's Colosseum, peace was the theme of Pope Francis's New Year's Day Mass. And in the UK, As Big Ben struck midnight, visitors from all over the world watched an extravagant display along the River Thames.
Even in the darkest moments, there is always hope.
Receiving a nugget of wisdom in a world entering a new quarter of the 21st century. Kamal Afzali, CBS News, London.
Well, still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Happy New Year. It's a day to kick back, relax, and nibble on a killer dip while watching football. And we've got an easy recipe for one coming up.
And we're tracking potential winter weather as we head into the weekend. I'll have all the details coming up. Well, we have winter weather coming up this weekend, but until then, we got a little nice day coming in for New Year's Eve. Let's go ahead, take a look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Sunny skies and temperatures are starting to warm up, though we're really only getting into the low 40s. We do have a few clouds moving in, but overall it's going to be a nice sunny day today and mostly calm weather for the next couple of days. But like I said, we've got a winter weather event coming up this weekend, which we'll talk about here in a moment. But if you want to plan your evening, we're going to start off with mostly clear skies. Temperatures are dropping quickly, though, down into the upper 30s by 6 p.m., low 30s by 8, and then back into the 20s by midnight. So we do see cooler temperatures pushing back in, but tonight those clouds push in due to a warm front that's moving in. So we're going to warm up a little bit tomorrow before we cool down for the weekend. Overcast skies and temperatures in the mid to upper 20s again, and even low 30s. Now by 7:30 in the morning, we're going to start to see that wind shift line where a cold front pushes back in. We might see a few isolated showers, especially in the northeast as we head into the afternoon on Thursday. So there you can see 6:30, that front has made it through, and just behind the front, a few trailing showers, though not expecting any accumulation with this, but still might get a few showers before we have the sun return on Friday. Now temperatures drop back down for Friday as well, down into the lower 40s yet again. Now the main concern though on this forecast period is going to be this weekend. It is going to be our first potential winter weather event. We start off Saturday morning, few sprinkles out there, heavier rain moving in later in the day, early afternoon. We're going to start with some scattered showers, switching over to a little bit of a ice mixture in with some of that rain, sleet and freezing rain. And that low pressure system moves right on top of us by Sunday morning. So this is about 9:30 in the morning. We're starting to see the snow creep in because following this low pressure system, winds are out of the north and temperatures drop pretty quickly as we head into the rest of Sunday. So snow becomes our main precipitation form as we end this system. This is going to clear out though by about 8-9 p.m. on Sunday, and maybe a few flurries still sticking around, but really it's going to be out of our hair by Monday morning. However, with all of the rain that we've already seen and the ice possibility on the roads, ice on the roads with a little bit of snow could cause some hazardous driving conditions as we're making our way into Monday morning. So that's something to definitely think about and keep in mind. Snow chances aren't as strong as the ice chances will be. We have 1/10 of an inch in the southern counties, all the way up to about 5 to 6 inches in the far northern counties, and that trend kind of trends about an inch and a half to the central counties. So not a lot of snow, but with the overnight low temperatures dropping below freezing, ice is going to be my biggest concern with this system that's coming in Sunday and late Saturday. Until then, temperatures are going to be in the 40s, bouncing around upper 40s to low 40s. Then following that system, we're dropping down into the low 30s for the highs and even the teens for the lows. So it's going to be, I mean, well below average for the next couple of weeks before we start to warm back up.
Pretty chilly. All right. Thanks, Lindsay. Well, stick around. We're making Rancher's chicken dip in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Well, today's Mr. Food recipe is the perfect snack to kick off the new year. Howard's making Rancher's chicken dip in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Happy New Year. And I know today's one of those days that a lot of us are going to be taking a little slower after a late night. Now, since this afternoon and right through the end of the month, there'll be lots of football to watch. I thought it'd be a fun idea to share a recipe for a dip that is game-worthy. We start by heating some barbecue sauce and ranch dressing in a skillet. Once it warms up, we add some cream cheese and cheddar cheese. Now, since it's a new year, we might want to use a reduced fat cream cheese or a lighter cheddar. After all, we don't want to blow our New Year's resolution on day one. Next, we stir in a little brown sugar, some Worcestershire sauce, and some onion powder. Those are going to give this a ton of flavor. And to hearty this up, we stir in a couple of cups of shredded cooked chicken. I used a rotisserie chicken, but you can use whatever you have on hand. We'll let this simmer just to let everything heat through. Serve this up with a little crumbled bacon on top and some corn chips for dipping, and are you ever in for a treat? Oh, don't forget to have some cut up fresh veggies for those of us who want to be somewhat good. I do hope you'll go online and get the recipe for what we call Rancher's Chicken Dip, so you'll be armed with the perfect something to serve from this afternoon right through the Super Bowl. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, wishing you a new year filled with lots of health, happiness, and of course, lots of, ooh, it's so good.
You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just head on over to our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
Well, we have temperatures warming up to the low 40s today. Warm front comes in tonight, so we'll warm up a little bit tomorrow, but those isolated showers are along a cold front, so we've got another chill day on Friday. And then we have a big winter system that potentially could drop snow and ice for us Saturday night and into Sunday. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Could be dropping temperatures for the rest of the week.
All righty, very cold to start off the new year.
It is.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. Look at tonight at 5. Coffee prices are up about 11% from last year, and they are only expected to go higher in the new year. Drought in coffee producing countries, Brazil and Vietnam, has led to lower supplies, and that's driving up the coffee commodities market, as some major manufacturers have already announced price increases and others are expected to follow suit. We'll take a look. Plus, what new laws will go into effect this year in the state of Oklahoma. And new year, new energy. We'll visit with Joplin residents hitting the gym to work on their New Year's resolutions. You can join us for those stories and more on KOAM News at 5. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. Have a great rest of your day and have a happy new year.